You see, what we are doing here is following the law. Whatever the governor communicates on social media, there is nowhere we have been told authentically that this is what is happening. Actually, the governor is actually reacting by what the people are demanding. So she needs to follow the law. If the governor is sick, we understand, feel a sick leave. So a very good example, there was Nderitu Gachagua, the former governor of Nyeri. She was sick. She went to abroad and disturbed and came back and ran the county. So what is this that is new that you are witnessing here today? So it is a gigantic tragedy of the people of Nakuru and a cold shoulder. These people are purely incompetent and they need to pack and go home. My remarks on the deputy governor coming out stating that there is no vacuum in Nakuru, that is not how government is run. I can give an example on how President Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president, when he went to Hague, he handed over to the current president by signing that he is going to Hague. So those are things that we want. We don't want just mere press release. We want the law to be followed to the letter. That is what we want. So the deputy governor cannot come and just say at a matanga or a function that he is in charge. What shows that he is in charge? Is there an internal memo? Is there a written communication? So these people, it is a clear show that they either don't know how to run a county or they are just incompetent. They need to pack their goods, abdicate the office and go home. Plans are very clear. When I wrote to the assembly, it was to just summon Governor Susan Kihika or her representative to authentically explain where the governor has been and who is running the county. So it was to petition the county assembly under the petition law on public interest so that the assembly can explain to the citizens who is running the county or where the governor is. They did not respond. They just gave a cold shoulder. So with that, we are moving now to the next level of going back to the Wananchi and asking them through their signature, is this county going to continue this way, or we go back to the election after 90 days and sign off so that we can go back and choose other leaders. Last week, I wrote to the President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump, and through the Embassy of America, I have confirmed that the President of America received the letter and he is yet to respond. Investigations, I presume that investigations are going on so that by the time he acts on the deportation letter, he will be able to know the truth. So it is in the pipeline of being investigated. Secondly, the ladies who respond, the Kewopa gang, to me I call them the discombobulated Kokwet gang who are confused in parliament and they don't know what they are doing. They responded on the letter which I wrote to President Trump. In fact, they could be bright enough to come to Nakuru under their jurisdiction as members of parliament and do a statistics of how many women have been affected by just the closure of War Memorial Hospital. Instead of doing that, they responded on my letter, which is a gigantic tragedy and a total disregard of the people who elected them. So to me, we are going back to Wananchi. It is an expensive, tedious, but the correct process because they are the custodians of this country. Thank you. Thank you so much. Today we have gathered here today at Engineer Kimori Command Center. I'm Engineer Kimori, the founder of Engineer Kimori Command Center. I'm a resident of Nakuru. It is indeed a great day to have you today here as the members of the Fourth Estate, the press. Actually, we have gathered here today on a subject matter to launch the signature collection and call for elections after 90 days in Nakuru County. The topic is Nakuru leaders have failed the people. It's time to hold them accountable. The people of Nakuru deserve responsive, transparent, and accountable leadership. Unfortunately, the current state of governance in Nakuru County paints a disturbing picture of neglect, confusion, and failed oversight. On March 20th, 2025, the people of Nakuru, through a formal petition by Engineer Kimori Evans, yours truly, demanded the county assembly to summon Governor Susan Kihika or her representative to explain her prolonged absence from duty, so that she can be able to clarify who is running the county in her absence and confirm whether any lawful transfer of power occurred. To date, the county assembly has failed to act on the petition, and this is a direct violation of their constitutional mandate. Instead of exercising oversight, our elected MCAs have chosen to join hands with the executive, abandoning their duty to hold the county government accountable. As power struggles intensify between the county secretary and the deputy governor, Nakuru residents have been left without leadership, clarity, or direction. Meanwhile, the county assembly has refused to demand answers on critical issues. And these are the critical issues: the continued closure of War Memorial Hospital, leaving residents without essential health care despite a court order directing its reopening. This is a hospital which was opened in 1906. It has been running for more than 100 years, but it is a total disregard of the people of Nakuru, and so shameful by the governor to close that hospital despite a court order directing its reopening. The mysterious case of a missing child, baby Mercy Chepngeno, at county morgue with no accountability. The frequent arrests and harassment of young people by the Kenya Wildlife Services without any response from the county leadership. The governor's failure to communicate her extended maternity leave to the people who elected her as required by the Employment Act and good governance practices. Let us be clear. The county assembly has a duty to the people who elected them. Among other primary responsibilities is to hold the county executive to account, ensuring that public funds are used transparently and the government remains accessible and responsive to citizens' needs. Sadly, the assembly has failed terribly in its regards. Their silence, inaction, and apparent collusion with the governor's office portray a public mistrust. We, the people of Nakuru, are demanding answers, accountability, and a return to people-centered leadership, as we have formally written to the Independent Electoral Commission (IEBC), requesting guidance as we start lawful process of collecting signatures to initiate a county suspension under Article 192B of the Constitution of Kenya. This is not politics. This is just for the people of Nakuru. We will not watch as few individuals continue to hold our county hostage while lives are lost. Youth are criminalized. Our great hospital remain closed. Despite receiving billions of allocations with no meaningful development on what is happening at the ward level. The very communities that voted in the leaders remain neglect. Our roads are impassable, hospitals are understaffed or shut. Youth are unemployed, and essential services are crumbling. This is a betrayal of devolution, and it must not be allowed to continue. We call on every Nakuru resident to stay informed, speak up, and join the movement to reclaim our county by signing the petition, which will ensure we have an election after 90 days within the law. Let us be competent, let us be watchful, let us have a county that represents the people. So today we will launch the signing of the petition to the president so that we have the suspension of Nakuru County government with immediate effect. And this will happen once we finish signing the signatures, and we ask the people of Nakuru to become as they sign the signatures so that we can go to the grassroots level and be able to communicate to the wananchi on what is happening. It is indeed a great honor to have you here. As you can see behind me are young ladies, the Gen Z. Nakuru is the epicenter of Gen Z. Today we decided to have just ladies on the press conference so that we can show that Nakuru has competent, effective, transparent, and accountable young ladies who can be able also to lead this nation. In the words of Nelson Mandela, in his book, Long Walk to Freedom, after 27 years of incarceration, he stated clearly, explicitly, and categorically that the youth should not only complain on what they don't want, they should also know what they want. We, the youth of Nakuru, we accurately know what we want. Thank you so much.